What's up, YouTube? It's your boy Infinite Gains. We're back again with another GME and AMC update video. So lock in. We're gonna be going over DJT because I saw that started ripping 7-8% in the overnight Robinhood market. We're also gonna be going over Tesla, had a super big rip. Let's look at GME. So we're looking at GME's macro channels. Very simple stuff. Let's actually, we can just hide these trend lines real quick so we don't have to see them. Boom. So we're looking at GME, right? Very simple. What do we see in 2021? Well, we see very simple trend line. Actually, we can put that down there. Very simple trend line. Price comes down, bottoms, initial bottom, curves, lower low, pops, tops out, builds a flag structure. Now, what does price do? We have this very simple trend line of these two tops. Price breaks out of the flag, gaps up above this trend line, and starts running. And then, what do we see here? Price breaks this downtrend. Price breaks this downtrend and fucking moons. So what are we looking at in 2021? We have our initial top curled down into a lower low, right? And we actually double bottom right here. Have our initial top come back into a pennant structure. Now, what are we looking at from a macro chart? From a macro chart, we're just looking for this very simple trend line break. Like very simple trend line break here. We want price to curl up, break this trend line, and then start running from this point, right? That's like very simple stuff. Very simple. And price is kind of riding the midline of this channel that we can kind of see here if we zoom in. So this would take us all the way down to even potentially that 2025 zone kind of area. Let's put these trend lines back on so we can see. If we go to the 4-hour chart, we can remove this. We don't need that anymore. We're still confined within this pennant. Resistance to the upside is 2360. Point of control at 2450, and then value area high at 3410. Support to the downside on the 4-hour chart is 2020. Value area low on the 4-hour, which is 1982, and then we have the daily 200 at 1942. So those are support and resistance zones. So we are in this pennant. We have about 8 days left in this pennant, potentially less. We have 8 days in this pennant. So that'll take us to the end of this week. Will be about 5 bars, so 5 days. And so we have maybe 1-2 weeks before this kind of pennant structure is kind of at its climax here. So maybe something interesting happens, maybe it doesn't. Like seriously, like anything can happen here, right? So we have our support and resistance zones. We've already kind of gone over macro GME, kind of what we're looking for on a macro level. Yeah, it's really that simple, just something that we can, keep monitoring here. But, kind of the overarching idea is I don't want people to YOLO options. I don't want people to over leverage themselves. It's very simple stuff. Price is below the daily 200. It's in a downtrend. Price breaks the daily 200. Price is in an uptrend. Hey, maybe I should start DCAing at these levels. Maybe I should start dollar cost averaging into a position. I don't want to over leverage myself. I don't want to buy weekly options, right? If I do want, a higher risk strategy and I do enter options, make sure that you're, actively managing them. I don't want people over leveraged. I don't want people doing crazy stuff, with their money. I want everyone to win. I see a lot of stuff on social media of people claiming dates, people pushing, crazy, fractal stuff, and saying, hey, it has to happen by X date, it has to do this, it has to do that. No, it actually doesn't have to do that. There's no secret sauce in trading, right? And so I want everybody to win. I want everybody to, it's not financial advice, but, there's no secret sauce to this, right? There's no secret sauce. You just have to identify key levels in which, hey, this could be a good idea to add more to my position, to dollar cost average my position. And, it's really just that simple, right? It's just a long-term conviction play. Yeah, so everything's, tracking pretty good. We went over a lot of stuff there on GME. So AMC, what are we looking for? Well, we have our channels pulled up, that I showed before. We did bounce off the bottom of this channel, which we needed that, man. We need $4 to really hold. We really do need that $4 zone to really hold. But I just want to point out some stuff with GME is that, we need to break these downtrends, right? And that's kind of all AMC really does, is it just creates downtrends and then it pops, right? Pre-2021, nasty downtrend, pops. Nasty downtrend, pop. Nasty downtrend, pop. And then you have your 2021 move. This entire time, it's literally just downtrends and pops. Downtrends and pops. Downtrend and pop. Downtrend and pop. Downtrend and pop. Downtrend and pop. And it's just that over and over and over again. And so, what you're looking at here in the short-term price, you just have two downtrends in price. And it's really that kind of simple, is that we have to maintain our structure here within this channel that we bounced off of. We need to break this downtrend, and we need to break the midline of this channel, which is sitting at around that 660 mark, depending on when that actually occurs. So that's, it's just it's really just that simple. I think a lot of people want to get rich quick with this stuff, but it's nobody knows exactly when this is going to happen. So you shouldn't treat it like the super hyped up dates and stuff like this. I think that's the wrong way to kind of approach it, right? So yeah, we're just in a waiting game right now, and just keep your portfolio in check and keep a clear head with this stuff. Bitcoin, let's go. Our harmonic hits a little bit here. So Bitcoin is in an uptrend. 1, 2, 3 touches on this trend. So we might, if we go ahead and retest that and it breaks, well, that's kind of interesting. We have lower high, lower high, lower high, lower high. So we have consecutive lower highs here. So we're not out of the woods yet with Bitcoin. This is, okay, very simple trend line here, rejection. That's very, very simple. So, kind of next move is, hey, do we have actually another bearish harmonic here, potentially? Potentially, if we break this trend line, potentially another bearish harmonic, but this trend line would have to be broken. See, the thing is that if we go ahead and look at SPY, so if we go ahead and look at the S&P 500, okay, where's SPY? SPY, this thing is going absolutely crazy. This thing's going absolutely crazy. We had a little pullback here. Actually, we can go ahead and look at SPY futures. So we'll look up SPY. We'll go to December. And on the night, okay, we need to go to the daily chart. Is daily green? Daily's green, up 0.44%. So we did hit resistance at our value area high at 58.78. So we could potentially come back from that level. Now, the thing is with Bitcoin is like it's pretty much controlled by SPY. Like if SPY comes down, like Bitcoin's cooked because SPY is just so overly extended. If we get a rejection here, slip below and retest this trend line, which it would just be a pullback initially to your point of control at 63K. Right, you can see price, right, resistance at the point of control, comes up, breaks, retests as support, retests, comes up. If we come back and retest 63,000 and that breaks, right, if 63K breaks and then your trend line with 3 touches on it breaks, if this breaks, if 63K breaks, I'm inclined to say this thing is absolutely cooked. I'm inclined to say that because if we put on the multi SMAs and we put on our daily 200, which is currently sitting at $63,261, is your daily 200 SMA. This thing is cooked. Like it is cooked because I'm just telling you, man, the next time price goes under the daily 200, I'm just telling you, this thing has lost momentum. It's lost momentum. It's just lost it. Like the momentum is curling down. You cannot sit in a range like this, and the election is coming up here on the 5th. Post-election, and the SPY is pivoting. And bonds are going crazy. If we pull up bonds, let's just pull up some treasury. Let's pull up we'll pull up a 10-year bond first. Look, these things are up, man. These things are up. Like, you know, we're looking at the 10-year bonds. We'll look at the short 5-year bonds. These things are up, bro. And it's like, why is that? You know, why is that actually happening? We pull up gold. Let's pull up gold. You know, we pull up, you know, pull up gold XAU. This thing is going absolutely bonkers. This thing is going crazy. So you have gold, bonds are going insane. You have Fed pivoting. You have the election on the 5th. You have SPY, S&P 500 at crazy levels. You have Nvidia. Actually, this is very good because I wanted to look in the video. Look at Nvidia Corp. Hitting the top of our channel. So we have a bearish harmonic here. That kind of coincides with the top of our channel at $150, which was our initial resistance, right? Our initial top here that led to that nasty drop. Well, we recovered all the way back up to test the top of this channel again at that $150 mark, which coincides with our, you know, bearish harmonic here that we have. You know, you have Nvidia at insane levels with SPY at like it doesn't even make sense. Like it doesn't even make sense. And so you have Bitcoin trading in a range. You have Bitcoin trading in a range like this for so long. If SPY decides to pull back, which would be absolutely like, it would just make sense. Like no one could even say anything if SPY had a massive pullback. Like, and it would, like, you should just expect that at any moment because SPY is just at such an overvalued point right now, at such an overextended level. It's like no one would even bat an eye. You have Bitcoin in a range for so long that, you know, it's like, if SPY comes down here, this thing is absolutely cooked down to probably the bottom of this channel, even worse. Even worse. I mean, you're probably coming back. You're probably coming back down. Yeah, you're probably coming back down to the 30s to retest the 30s, man. Like seriously, like if that happens, like you're talking about 40s to 30s, and like I hate saying that. I know that sounds pretty crazy, but it's like if you get a pullback with SPY hasn't really had a meaningful pullback in a while now. So I mean, if like, dude, I'm just telling you, this thing could get nasty. Like this could get nasty pullback, bro. Like I'm just telling you right now, like SPY, Nvidia, Bitcoin could have a super nasty pullback, and I'm not saying it's 100%. I'm saying if you see Bitcoin under the daily 200 at 63K again, and SPY is pulling back, NVIDIA is pulling back, this thing is cooked. I'm just telling you that shit right now. Like, that'll be your cue. That'll be your cue that this thing has no momentum anymore. Like, that it just doesn't. But that'll be your cue, man. That'll be like, if I see that, like, I'm running for the hills. I'm running for the hills, man. We have Tesla pulled up here. Let's go to short-term price action. So we did have a bullish harmonic play out. So we had our TP1 at 237, TP2 right in this zone, which is our value area high at 278. So we might be able to see a pullback. Now, why am I thinking about a pullback? Well, we have this gap in price that has not been filled, like just blatantly obvious, chilling right here. Like, that will be filled. That, I'm just telling you, like, that will be filled. And I know it seems obvious. Like, it seems obvious, doesn't it? Well, it seems kind of obvious for a reason, because there's just an obvious imbalance there. Like, price will fill. Because you got to think, hey, we have this super obvious imbalance here in price. Price dips. No, the gap fills too obvious, bro. Okay, well, you were going to fill the gap. Like, I know it's brutally obvious. I know the gap is brutally obvious, but, like, you're going to fill it. Now, you might be able to pump up a little bit to this higher level. Maybe hit the value area high at 278, but, like, you're probably going to come back and retest that level, right? You're probably going to come back and retest that gap. Like, and it's kind of that simple. I think kind of what happens is that kind of bears think that the gap is going to be filled immediately, and that kind of leads to like a short-term little squeeze, right? Because you have a bunch of shorts piling in, like kind of targeting it. And so it kind of leads to like a mini squeeze, where you just have a bunch of bears kind of piling in, thinking that the gap has to be filled immediately. It doesn't have to happen immediately. Price can run, right? So, like, price can come up, snag. We've already snagged the top of this liquid zone. We can just snag this, hit value area high, boom, make a local high right here, and then come back down. And then your kind of area of importance is this PO's point of control at 269. If that breaks, yeah, you're gap filling. So if you come up, take these two tops, hit value area high, maybe even a little bit higher at 278, come back down and retest point of control at 269. If that 269 breaks, then yeah, you're probably going to gap fill. So, I mean, it could be kind of a good entry for a short position. I mean, your technical target for this harmonic anyways is up in this zone. Is up in this like 280 zone. So that's like definitely a possibility. Hey, something that's kind of interesting, you have this little small gap here as well. So, hey, let's put this on our chart. We have this super small gap. Right. Actually, that's right in the middle of our zone. It's right in the middle of our zone. So that could be interesting. That could be interesting, because you come up, you take both of these local peaks, boom, snag that liquidity, gap fill. So that's kind of interesting. Let's pull up DJT. We have yet another bearish harmonic with a target all the way up here in that $44 range. Now your value area high is sitting at 42.18. 42.18. Would I bet against this thing? I don't know, because look at the chart. This thing is absolutely crazy. Like, I like, look at this thing. I don't know. Like, I don't know, man. I don't know about betting against this. We have this super simple trend line. Okay, that was broken. Yeah, but I mean, you have your technical pattern of this bearish, harmonic at the value area high of that 42.18. I might wager a short position targeting point of control at that $30 mark. You could wager a position. Now, this is a short squeeze play, and that's a little bit different because all logic is kind of flying out the window, which is, with this play, you need a stop loss. Like, do not enter a volatile stock like this without a stop loss. Like, just like don't. Why would you do that? Don't do that. Me, hey, we could wager a short position at value area high at 42.18, potentially all the way at 44.68. So this would be your zone for a short position. Where would okay? Actually, we can just very simply pull this up. Short position. We'll do here. Short position. Actually, what are we up? What are we up to? We're up 8%, so we're already at $41 in overnight trading. We'll say short position, stop loss just above this value, just above this volume resistance zone at 50. So, and then we'll take short position all the way down to point of control, potentially even lower, to this harmonics retracement target is all the way down to 25. Actually, that's a little crazy. We'll do point of control. If point of control breaks, you can come down and retest this trend line all the way down to 25. So we'll set this up. I feel like that's a legitimate trade here. We can make that. We're up 8% in the overnight trading. We'll just say, hey, if depending on where it opens up, because I kind of want to enter at the value area high at 42.18, because I think we'll see resistance there. But I mean, we'll say that. We'll say that. I mean, that's a pretty good setup. And you know, if it hits your stop loss, well, okay, well, that's the name of the game. That's the name of the game. You know, you have setups in the chart, and that's why the stop loss exists. That's why you have a win-loss rate. It's the whole point of trading. It's not you're not gonna win every single one, but I would wager a short position there. Honestly, for a retrace, hell yeah, I would enter a short position. So that's Tesla, DJT, Bitcoin. We'll keep tracking all this stuff. We went over a lot of stuff. Yeah, I mean, all in all, like, this is just really, really simple for GME. It's just like I try to provide weekly updates. And obviously once things kind of start getting crazy, we'll definitely have a lot more to look at. But for now, we're keeping it simple. We're keeping a clear head. We're not doing dates. We're not doing crazy stuff. So anyways, I'll see you guys. Please comment below if you want me to look at any other stocks. If you want me to go over, I still gotta push out some educational videos, man. I'm still working on them. I'm working on them. I'm getting them. Trust me. I'm just I got so much stuff going on, man. It's hard for me to kind of push out those types of videos, to kind of sit down and put all that time in. But they're coming, man. They're coming. Anyway, so this was the weekly GME and AMC update video. Make sure to subscribe to the channel, man. This is freaking awesome. We're getting over 1,000 subs. Make sure to do that. Make sure to join me on x.com. At Mr. Gains, MISTAGAINZ, Mr. Gains. So join me on X, and I'm also on Discord, and the link should be in the comments and everything like that, so you can have access to me. Just at me, hey Gains, check out this stock, check out Tesla. What do you think, bro? And I'll post a chart for you. I can even post videos. I can make a quick video and go over it. So, yep. That's a full video, and I appreciate every single one of you guys, and have a good week. Peace out.